dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Olivia Calfee. A bill designed to make it more difficult for teachers with allegations of sexual misconduct to move from school district to school district now waits for the governor's signature to become law. We have reported on countless cases where teachers and other school personnel have been accused of sexual misconduct with students. Now, House Bill 275 could crack down on teachers preying on students over and over. Grayson Passmore tells us why advocates say this is a big step towards protecting Kentucky children.
I'm not the first one, and I'm not the last one.
Studying social work at UK, Katomi Yokokura learned of House Bill 288 last year, a bill sponsored by Representative James Tipton that would crack down on teacher sexual misconduct, requiring districts to keep all records of allegations and abusive conduct in personnel files.
That's when I came forward and was like, if it would help, would be willing to tell my story.
For the first time, Katomi publicly shared her own personal experience of being groomed and sexually abused by her high school teacher. After an anonymous adult reported the abuse, Katomi contacted Kentucky State Police. Since telling her story, other students approached Katomi and shared they were also sexually abused by someone they trusted in their school system.
It's 4 years later, and it's the effects of my high school experience I still carry with me today. And I can't let that happen to anyone else.
In 2023, HB 288 died in Senate chambers, but a year later, Representative Tipton brought House Bill 275 to the floor with Katomi by his side.
A message to students and to Kentucky families that we do care about their safety in schools.
House Bill 275 would require prospective employees to disclose any allegations and disclose all former schools they have worked in. It would require sexual abuse training for school employees, and it would prevent schools from entering into non-disclosure agreements with employees currently under investigation.
We want to ensure that employees are not moving from district to district or school to school when things are going on, and the schools are not aware of it. So that other part of that is making sure that schools are able to do appropriate reference checks and dig into the background of an employee.
With Kentucky Youth Advocates, Shannon Moody says this legislation could be just the start to protecting Kentucky families.
We're also glad that it is resulting in conversations that will likely stretch beyond this session around kids' safety and ensuring kids are safe in every environment.
At the Capitol, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
A sweeping crime bill that aims to reduce violence and a new 2-year spending plan getting final passage were among the key items sent to the governor this afternoon. House Bill 6 passed the House 72-26 and now goes to the governor. Supporters say there is more money for education, but opponents say it leaves out a lot, especially for personnel and pre-K.
They're excited that with these significant increases,
it is still not good enough. There is not enough investment in K through 12 public schools.
2 to 5% will not resolve our teacher shortage. Is not enough to ultimately draw in more students to the field. We just need to do more and need to do better.
Governor Beshear says there are significant investments in a lot of areas, improvements to roads and bridges and body armor for police. Leaders in Frankfort are raising awareness for April's Child Abuse Prevention Month. For the occasion, lawmakers decorated the front lawn of the Capitol with blue pinwheels. Each represents 12 children born in Kentucky this year.
As a dad, as a person of faith, and as governor, I believe that there is no more sacred responsibility than the protection of our children.
Part of the demonstration highlighted the passage of Bill 207. The bill makes the possession, trafficking, or importing of sex dolls illegal. Governor Andy Beshear officially signed that bill into law today. After the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed on Tuesday morning, officials are looking at all of the impacts. U.S. Department of Transportation officials remind folks that the halt in traffic may impact farmers nationwide. Perry County Extension Services agent Charles May says the impact will possibly be felt in our region.
In 2021, the U.S. Department of Transportation ranked the Port of Baltimore as 17th out of the top 50 U.S. water ports by tonnage, with more than 37 million tons moving through the port. One of the major exports being more than 1 million tons of roll-on, roll-off cargo that includes farm equipment.
That's not just cars, by the way, that also includes a lot of farm equipment, which is a very important export for the American economy.
The American Farm Bureau Federation economist Danny Munch says in part, quote, "The global freight network has become accustomed to uncertain shipping conditions, however, allowing it to adapt effectively to such situations." Perry County Extension Services agent Charles May says Eastern Kentucky is not exempt from the possible impact.
It's probably at some point, its parts and things are going to be hard to get, and even the tractor itself. I know John Deere and probably one of our other local dealers here, their equipment probably comes into that port.
May says following COVID, there were inventory issues, but he does not anticipate things to reach that level.
How this disaster is going to affect that, I guess it's yet to be seen, but probably at the very least they're going to have to use other ports to get this product, farming equipment and things to the farmers.
He adds parts for different machinery may be delayed due to this situation as well. In Perry County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
We are tracking some more cool and dry weather to close out your Thursday, and that dry weather also sticks around as we close out the work week on Friday. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, not much happening right now, all thanks to high pressure. A clean sweep continues. Notice as we zoom out, we are tracking a high pressure system close to the Kentucky and Tennessee border, and that will bring some more dry and mainly clear weather as we go into tonight. So as a result, we are chilly. Those current temperatures in the upper 30s to middle 40s in some areas, up to 47 for Jackson, down to 38 for Manchester, 37 over in Middlesboro. We do have a frost advisory in place for Campbell and Claiborne County in Tennessee, also for Lee County, Virginia, and that will last through 9 a.m. on Friday. So we are chilly to wake up and walk out the door, but some fantastic weather is on the way tomorrow. We stay dry under some sunshine, those highs back in the middle to upper 60s, and be sure to enjoy that because rain chances are on the way. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right, Cameron, thank you. The Pikeville Fire Department is preparing to say goodbye to one of its own. Robert Lindsay died Tuesday, leaving his family and fellow firefighters at a loss. The 60-year-old firefighter spent 40 years at the department, wearing many different hats along the way. Now Lindsay's legacy is how he served the community he loved, and it fuels his brothers to keep fighting in his memory.
To be that selfless person, to go out and be the first one to serve, and to do this job in a selfless manner. He was the person that you would look to for the inspiration to be able to do those kind of things.
You can find the arrangements for Lindsay's funeral over on our website. The West Virginia State Fire Marshal's office says the Dunlow Volunteer Fire Department is out of service. They said in a release earlier today, the Dunlow Volunteer Fire Department has voluntarily closed due to not having a valid workers' compensation insurance policy in place. Ariana Mintz spoke with a concerned resident in the area on the developing story.
The Dunlow Volunteer Fire Department is out of service for the time being. This information coming from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's office Thursday afternoon.
I live in East Lynn, which is about 30 minutes from here.
Nate Randolph is from the area and is concerned about what this might mean if an emergency arises.
There's something called the golden hour, and if you are critically injured within the first hour, if you don't start to receive some treatment, there's a good probability that your outcome is negative. And if the mutual aid agreements with these other departments put you even further away, then that's going to have a health consequence for the residents in this community.
The West Virginia State Fire Marshal's office says the fire department voluntarily closed from not having valid workers' compensation. Volunteer fire departments cannot spend levy money allotted to them. They send bills to the county, and the county makes payments. The Dunlow Volunteer Fire Department received the workers' comp policy bill on December 22, 2023, but did not submit the purchase order to the commission for payment until January 16th. By the time it was submitted, Dunlow's account was in the red.
Not optimal that they have to close, but it's also understandable. If you have funding issues and if workers' comp has not been paid, then that's an issue for the people that work at the station. And obviously we'd rather not this have to close, but if that's necessitated by the safety of the workers, that's what they need to do.
The purchase order submitted to the county commission shows the amount close to $5,000. That was due February 14th, 2024. The bill was not paid, and the policy expired on February 28th. Ariana Mintz, WSAZ, News Channel 3, Wayne County.
London Martial Arts is offering a Police Activities League program for kids. The nationwide program helps kids find productive activities. Surrounding police agencies have partnered to participate as well. London Martial Arts owner Jonathan Byerly says they are planning for kids to have several activities.
The goal is to have kids in here doing martial arts, but also we want to do other programs with other things, like we talked about, going to teaching kids how to change oil that don't know how to do that, change a tire and stuff. So we have other plans as well.
Anyone interested in the program can contact London Martial Arts. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, the solar eclipse will be here before you know it. Are you prepared with the proper gear to view it safely?
Plus, one more dry day is ahead before showers are back by this weekend. Your forecast coming up.